propose, propose, negotiate, negotiate, prescription, prescription, previously, previously, combat, combat, lurch, lurch, deviate, deviate, rational, rational, track, track, remark, remark, session, session. President Biden proposed raising taxes on Americans earning more than $400,000 in an attempt to ensure that Medicare is funded for at least the next 25 years. The plan would raise Medicare taxes to 5% from 3.8%. The Biden administration also proposed allowing Medicare to expand its ability to negotiate lower prescription drug prices. The plan is part of the White House's 2024 budget proposal, but will likely be rejected by the Republican-controlled House. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell opened the door to a larger half-point rate increase this month, and said officials are likely to lift rates higher than they previously expected to combat inflation in a stronger economy. Stocks lurched lower after the Fed chair suggested faster rate moves. China's Foreign Minister Qin Gang said the U.S.'s China policy has entirely deviated from the rational track and warned of possible conflict and confrontation. Qin made the remarks during a press conference on the sidelines of Beijing's annual legislative session. Inflow, inflow, asylum, asylum, bedevil, bedevil, fume, fume, deploy, deploy. Thousands of migrants are illegally crossing from the U.S. into Canada. The record inflows of asylum seekers, nearly 40,000 last year and about 5,000 in January alone, are forcing Canada to deal with an issue that has long bedeviled other wealthy Western nations. While the country has recently committed itself to significantly raising the number of legal immigrants and accepting 1.5 million newcomers by 2025, many officials are fuming about the spike in illegal migration. Using the kind of anti-migrant language rarely heard in Canada, some opposition politicians have called on the government to deploy the police to shut down border crossings. Cap, cap, out of pocket, out of pocket, insulin, insulin, prescribed, prescribed, diabetes, diabetes, enormous, enormous, retreat, retreat, contributor, contributor, threshold, threshold, influx, influx. Eli Lilly will cap the out-of-pocket costs of insulin at $35 a month, a 70% cut in the price of its most commonly prescribed insulin products. About 8.4 million people in the U.S. with diabetes rely on insulin, and the annual cost of medical care for people with diabetes runs $9,601 on average. The move, which comes after enormous political pressure, marks at least a partial retreat for a company that has been a major contributor to soaring prices for a life-saving injection that millions of Americans rely on. Singapore is increasing the threshold for global investors seeking permanent resident status in an attempt to create more jobs and benefit locals due to an influx of wealth. Applicants will need at least 10 million Singapore dollars, 7.4 million US dollars in a business, or 25 million Singapore dollars in an approved fund, the Singapore Economic Development Board said in a statement Thursday. For those establishing family offices, at least 50 million Singapore dollars must be deployed and maintained in 4 government-designated investment categories.